he's super prolific. He's still making music now. And I think he's made 20 albums so far since he started. But those early tapes were so good. And actually, the first time I heard Ariel Pink, my friend was like, this sounds like Graham, you know?
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Accolades Conversation series, in which I talk to some of my favorite artists about who or what they would recommend me checking out. Make sure to subscribe to our channel or hit the like button. Doug Lussenhop, known professionally as DJ Douggpound, is an American musician, video editor, and comedian. Doug is best known as the editor for Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job, that features his trademark editing style, which the show is known for. Doug edited and acted in many Tim and Eric projects, including Tom Goes to the Mayor, Tim and Eric Nightlife, and their feature debut, Tim and Eric's $1 Billion Movie. Along with fellow comedians Neil Brennan and Moshe Kasher, Doug co-hosted the Champs podcast, where Lussenhop interrupted and guided the interviews with well-timed musical cues and audio drops. After departing from the Champs, Lussenhop started his own podcast, The Poundcast, which he hosted with Brent Weinbach. Doug is also a co-host of the podcast Office Hours with Tim Heidecker along with Vic Berger. I spoke to Doug about Kleenex Girl Wonder, an indie rock band originally from the suburbs of Chicago, but now based in New York City. The band's central and sole consistent member since its inception is Graham Smith. The originally backing band consisted of neighborhood friends from his hometown of Downers Grove, Illinois. If you're into my illustrations, please check out my illustration book, which you can still get on craterecords.be. This is what Doug had to add.
I want to shine a spotlight on Graham Smith, aka Kleenex Girl Wonder. I met him when he was 16 years old in the 90s, and I worked at a Kinko's, which is a copy shop. We make Xerox copies, you know. And he came in and he was making a cassette tape for his latest album, and he was printing it, you know, the covers for it there on, I think, in maybe red and black ink. Anyway, I thought, wow, this kid is he looked very interesting. And I think he maybe was a friend of somebody I worked with also. Then I checked out his music and it was really cool. He just recorded it on a 4-track or maybe like a 6-track in his room, you know, lo-fi, kind of like super catchy pop music, you know, just a high school kid. And at that time I was just getting into editing videos and I was in film school, I think. I asked him if I could make a music video for him because I thought his music was really cool. So then we made a music video. It was the first music video I ever made. And I'm not just saying you should check him out because I'm biased. I just think his music is awesome. And then I just asked him he's super prolific. He's still making music now. And I think he's made 20 albums so far since he started. But those early tapes were so good. And actually, the first time I heard Ariel Pink, my friend was like, this sounds like Graham, you know? So it's not exactly the same, but it has a similar the early stuff has similar homemade kind of bedroom quality. I think some of his newer stuff is on his website, kgw.me. I should probably plug that for him. Mm-hmm. But yeah, back in those days, he also has he would put out 7-inch records. So there's 7 inches, there's full length reissues. He has this one album called Pony Oak that kind of put him on the map a little bit because it's just an excellent album. And I think he made it when he was in college, and it combines lo-fi, like home recordings and digital. It's like super unique sounding, and it's, you know, every song is like really catchy. And
me not knowing who he is, what song would you point out as like a reference track for what he's doing? Something that, of course, something that I can probably find, right? So
yeah, let's see here. I might have to look it up. He has so many good songs from that album, the Pony Oak album. You know, to KGW, Kleenex Girl Wonder fans, may to be considered his best album. Mm-hmm. And I think the vinyl was reissued recently, so that's probably something you can obtain. Probably Tendency Right Foot Forward is a song you could check out just as an entry point. Or the first song on that album, The Nearest Future.
Yeah, I of course know you from your work for Tim and Eric. In that video, did you already have that kind of style, or is it something that you were looking for, or how did that develop? Like, how did you come to your specific way? Because you have a very specific way of of doing things?
It's just, yeah, kind of like experimenting. And, you know, Graham played a role in it because at the time I made his music video, I also did a cable access show where I kind of just had my friends do little sketches, and I would just film. I would take found footage and put music over it, and finding things that I thought were funny with editing and stuff, you know, just kind of making myself laugh, making my friends laugh, and experimenting with that kind of stuff. And yeah, like making music videos helped to, I would just experiment with different effects and like.
Is that still something that is very much part of your career, making music videos?
No, not at all. I don't like to make music videos because when I edit stuff, the sound is a big part of like what I use to make things funny. And if it's just the soundtrack is locked to a song, I just not that inspiring to me, or like I can't really come up with too many ideas. I used to love making music videos, but I don't really do it anymore. I make my own for my own little songs and stuff.
I look forward to checking it out. And he's still playing music nowadays, right? He's still playing shows and stuff like that, or?
Yeah. I don't know if he does do shows once in a while, but he definitely puts out music still. He's always doing some kind of interesting stuff. Now he's doing something that is sort of a magazine, or he's making, if you subscribe to his Bandcamp, I guess you get access to all of his music, and you also get access to his magazine he's making. It looks like it might be kind of a comic book kind of thing. But yeah, kgw.me is where you can find all that stuff.
I want to thank Doug for this conversation. On next week's episode, I'm talking to Tom De Geeter about the importance of dieptran. Thanks for listening, watching, or however you check out Accolades. Give us a thumbs up or follow our channel. See you next week.